It's 2:25 p.m. Sunday, May 16th, 2021. I wanted to talk with you as briefly as possible about metaphysical vision. I've done a few videos through the years about saying, but I think this quick one here can do more for you than the other ones so far. There's two kinds, well, actually three kinds of metaphysical vision. There's pineal, heart, and solar plexus. That's seeing through the heart, seeing through the pineal, seeing through the solar plexus. They're all a little bit different. I'm going to focus mostly on the pineal and the solar plexus. Seeing through the heart, it's a matter of understanding something. The heart's always connected with the hypothalamus gland of the brain, creating understanding through feelings and all the other information that the hypothalamus gland picks out as its energy conduits go out through the whole brain. The pineal, the pituitary, the strong metaphysical energy centers of the brain actually connect, come together in a hypothalamus. They move throughout the body, throughout the brain, and throughout the spirit core that goes from the top of your head down the bottom of your feet, but stays mostly between the middle of your brain and the end of the tip of the coccyx, the bottom part of your spine, right below the pelvic, beginning of the pelvic bone, right kind of centered in the middle of it. That pelvic cradle, whatever you want to call it down there. A friend of mine, Alexis Hart, he's Arae energy. Who he is had come over time, had come from what I am, Arae, inside. I'm not speaking bodies, I'm talking about spirit, the sentient energy, the batteries that run these bodies that are trapped inside, locked inside. He's a very strong heart, and he sees things as heart. I was talking about something I was doing in the kitchen, and he said, "You have a stool in there where you're sitting." I said, "Yeah." But as he tried to focus on exactly what the stool looked like, it was harder to do. That's because the heart does get some image and other stuff that's multidimensional, that's on this dimension, and also from the solar plexus. The heart, part of the heart energy is actually inside the spirit core of your body, the big mainstream of the energy flowing through your body. You also have a reservoir in your brain. That's a different video. I've spent years doing videos talking about energy and stuff like that. You have to flow from one part of the river down to the next, just like I did when I woke up. Anyway, having said that about the heart, the people who are pineal based, meaning their power levels are stronger in the pineal part of the brain, they see things multidimensionally much better. What people call ghosts, it's just us when we're not in the body. So when they see spirit, and it's often in the second dimension. Sometimes it'll come here, but even though it shows itself here, it's still usually floating around in the second dimension, just peeking through the barrier, the dimensional barrier. When someone is solar plexus, they see this dimension much better. A little bit of, like a half or 3/4 above, a half or 3/4 below, the dimension above, dimension below. This is a third dimension. So solar plexus people because they're seeing, and when I say solar plexus people, I'm talking about people who are strongest in the solar plexus. Whether you're stronger in the solar plexus and the pineal or the heart, it's mostly relative, grossly mostly relative, 86, 88%, because of the organs that are in that body and the way it was, made. The body that you will put into as yourself, spirit. When you're solar plexus, you see this dimension, you can usually see little details better. Like someone who's really strong solar plexus, it would be easier for them to see a car in a parking lot somewhere farther away. Remote viewing, most people that do that, not all, but most people that do that the most efficiently would be solar plexus. Now, pineal, you still see remote viewing, you can still see this dimension, but it's just not the same as a solar plexus person. It's not quite the same. And you can see things multidimensionally that they can't see too well. Also, those little black blotches that go by every once in a while, those are your spirit guides making themselves known. While you're in the physical body, using your conscious brain, the conscious part of your brain, it's an area of thought is all, part of the normal process of the functioning brain. In the corner of your eyes, you can see things multidimensionally. And then as soon as it leaves the corner of your eye, you can't see it anymore. Not physical, with your physical eyes as an actual thing. But those black blotches, those are your spirit guides actually taking their energy and condensing it so hard and so thick that light can't go through it. Light can't pass through it. So it appears as a black blotch. It doesn't mean it's negative or evil or anything. On the other side, the original first being, when it was alive, what people still call God, the male and female halves of the original first being, they didn't like to see any black or any red energy on the other side, not being built up in any degree. Black is, pulling energy together, and it's usually for a reason, like to exert it towards something else. They didn't want that. They wanted everyone to be calm and placid and, praise them when they'd float by. I mean, it's disgusting. But also they couldn't stay in the heart. The red energy, that's pure love. And they didn't like that. They were 27.5% lower frequencies. They didn't have much heart energy. They had it, but not that much. When people go on ships and go looking around, stuff like that, solar plexus people are going to see things a little more exactly as they are. And the pineal people see things, they can see better like that when it's in regards to spirit. And usually, if they know the spirit, they might see that spirit as it was the last time they knew it, or the spirit itself they're looking at. Once they communicate, it'll be showing them, which happens instantaneously, they'll show them a body that they want them to see. Or something relative to a conversation that people are having, and the spirit's right there and they want to join in. So also, when you see something like energy, what does it look like? It's energy. It doesn't have any physical form. So how are you going to know it's energy? How are you going to know what it looks like? Well, all you can do is create an image within your brain using information you've already, taken in your physical brain from this life. You have to take physical imagery and create with it something that explains what you're seeing as best as possible. The more you use your abilities, especially to see, feel, touch, understand, touching is good, but you can touch something with your hand, but you can touch something with your mind, actually go to it That's what I meant by touch. The more you do it, the stronger you get. The more, don't have the word, the better you get at it. The more finesse you have in using that ability. But when you don't see things the same as someone else, do not clam up. Do not stop looking. Do not be afraid to talk about what you saw. A person who's pineal can see something a lot different than someone who's solar plexus. What you're seeing is not wrong. And if the other person that's looking at something and he's really strong solar plexus, and Steve Lewandowski is very strong. He's a very solar plexus. He talks with the Sepoians, Greys and stuff all the time. He can see the fingers that they have and, what they look like and etc. Where it's harder for someone who's heart or pineal to see that. It doesn't mean you can. It means it's more difficult. Stephen, he's very strong. Like my friend Alexis Hart, heart energy. When Alexis was looking in the kitchen, and he knew that there's a chair that I used to sit in there, and he could see the chair, but when he tried to focus on exactly what the chair looked like, that's harder to do. But for Stephen, it's easier. But then Alexis can understand the depth of other things involving heart that's really hard for Stephen to do. And then people who are pineal can see spirit, sentient energy outside of a body in different dimensions. They can see all kinds of things in different dimensions more clearly than others. And it all has to do with the physical body, your physical pineal gland, your heart energy, your solar plexus. 88% of your ability to see is relative to the body that you're in, and the other 12% that's left is relative to who you are as spirit, sentient energy, because everybody has all the fields in them. But when you're stuck in a body, locked into a body, how you see, what you see is going to be more dependent upon your body, where your energy focal point is, whether it's pineal or heart or solar plexus. It'll be that more so than who you are as your natural self. Anyway, I hope that'll help some of you understand that when you see things differently, do not think there's anything wrong with you. There's not. If you see something, you saw it. The hard part is to understand, what did I see? Did I see something exactly? Did I see that something was there? Remember, you're not holding up a remote control and looking at it. You're not holding up a thing of vitamins and looking at it. Glucosamine, chondroitin, MSM, awesome stuff, made by Simple Truth. Anyway, I quit taking all the pain pills so I could finish what I'm doing, but my bones are shot, so I take that to help me walk for a short distance. But anyway, don't think there's something wrong with you. There's not. Different people see things differently, and you have to create. You have to take everything that you've seen in your life, pictures, physical experiences. Those are images you have, and then you have to use your brain to create an image that best relates to what it is you're seeing. And you have to do that from metaphysical to physical. There's an area where they mesh together. People, this is not easy. It's not like looking at a car going by. But if you see something, trust what you saw. It's just trying to fully understand it. When you see something, if you relax, take a nice deep breath, relax, Take a nice full breath. Don't suck in the clouds. Just take a nice full breath and relax. Let it out nice and easy. You do it again. You calm down. You relax. Take another one in. Let go of it. It seems like you're going down, but what you're doing is slowing down your frequencies. Your frequency peaks where it goes like this. Your energy, it gets smaller and they open up like this. So the wave, instead of being like this, goes a little more like this. And then your energy in your brain starts to come closer to matching the field energy that's going all through your body, everywhere, goes through everything. Atomic bomb goes off, that energy is going right through it, doesn't affect it. That's the source field, it's part of me. So you're going to get help to understand what you're seeing when you do that. Your spirit guides will be talking with you. You're all going to get animal essence spirit guides also. Power animals. Stephen D. Farmer, Earth Magic. Take a look at him. Cool guy. I've met him personally. Anyway, he's Source. He doesn't understand it. Source doesn't mean you're better than anything else. It just means that you're really strong and have more tools immediately available to you. I've met so many, almost everything is soul. I've met so many awesome, wonderful souls that are so incredible in what they can do and so awesome. When you see something different than someone else, you're perceiving it different because your energies are different. But, whether you're a pineal, solar plexus, heart, and then also it's what percentage of what you have. So everyone sees things a little bit differently. And then you have to use your ability to create your imagery to understand what you're seeing. So the chance of two people seeing something exactly the same is unreal. I mean, it's not, you can see basic things, yes, but exactly the same, almost never. There's been a couple times I've been talking with Alexis of Heart, and it was relative to numbers, and, he saw exactly the same numbers that, I was seeing. Trust yourself. Just try to understand what you're seeing, that's all. When I was a kid, someone once looked at me and said, you have a hell of an imagination. People couldn't understand or believe things I could do. And it usually frustrated them or made them mad or scared the hell out of them, like telling them who's on the phone when it's ringing. I was doing that all the time when I was 5 until I got to a point where I had to stop or get my head handed to me. So I thought I'd stop. Anyway, it's different for everyone. Don't hesitate to say what you see. If you want, I just blurt stuff out. Things are what they are. Of course, I understand them. But just think about what you saw and understand how it is you see things. All this comes by doing it. If you don't do it, it's not going to happen. You can take all the ingredients to make the best cake ever made. Lay them out in the kitchen on the table where you're going to make it. And if you just leave them there, you ain't never going to have no cake. You can't learn how to drive a car until you buckle up and crank up the engine, get it rolling. Don't be concerned that you're wrong. It's the understanding of what you're seeing. When you see something, that's message, it's information, it was correct. Just understand what you were seeing. Now, if you're doing a bunch of drugs and stuff, forget it. Or DMT, no, you're going to see all kinds of stupid stuff. You might as well be doing acid. The more you smoke weed, I used to smoke all the time when I was a kid. The more you smoke, the harder it is for you to see. It clouds up the middle crown, the upper crown, the lower crown and hypothalamus. It's like a white cloudy, thick energy with a little bit of gray in it. When I see it in people, when I go in your heads, I can tell if you're doing drugs, pharmaceutical or street or whatever. That's just how I see things. I very seldom mention anything unless I feel it's important for you to know something. And I never talk to anyone else about it. That's no one else's business. We have a consultation. It's a very personal, private thing. So, I'll mention one time I cranked up a lady who had been messed with, that she was source, and I cranked the hell out of her, and there was a shelf behind her, and I literally maxed out what I had to clean what was in her out, kill it, crank her up, and then also fill up the room. Anything else that was nearby and everything on the upper shelf, literally I threw it off the shelf. Didn't break a thing. Nothing broke. But she jumped. Anyway, there's so much more to who you are than you could ever understand while you're in the body. But the way we're taught to see, feel, and think about things, there's no such thing as metaphysical. There's only God. God loves you, so he made hell. You better be afraid of him. What? Just relax. Think about what you're looking at. See what you see, and then hold on to the image. And then when you kind of get out of your relaxing state, just start trying to understand it. When I say relaxing state, you don't go comatose. You just relax and calm down, and then when you wake up, your frequencies start picking up again, and try to understand it. And again, anytime you start getting a little hyper, just take a nice full breath. In slow, out slow. Don't try to go too slow, but just take your time. Don't hurry it. Let it be natural, but relaxed. Every time you do it, you go a little deeper into yourself. And what's actually happening is, instead of the frequencies being like this, they're like this. And that's when you start matching with the field. And the field's just me anyway. Folks, I apologize for anything I've repeated. But you get the idea. You get the understanding, the information. There's other people here who are going to help you see more and do more. But if you relax and go into the field, I can help you. Once I'm out of this body, once I'm free of it, it will be a few months from now. I'll be gone, finally. Free of this living corpse. Contradictory terms, huh? Just remember, if you see something and you're not on drugs, count on it. Just try to understand it. And those of you taking DMT, you might as well take acid. So take some good vitamins, eat some good food. Source of Life, made by Nature Made, something like that. It's called Source of Life. Actually, Nature's Plus, Source of Life. Awesome, awesome vitamin. And for seeing, N-acetyl-L-tyrosine. This works good with the pineal and everything else. And then there's lecithin. Lecithin is very good. You can get it from sunflower seeds and more. But lecithin is very good for your whole nervous system, and it's the nervous system that your spirit flows throughout, going throughout your body. The little pulses on EKGs and stuff, electromagnetic pulses. This form of electromagnetic energy is one of the 5 types of energy that is essential to create sentient life. If you can understand that, then that's proof positive, more proof that you are spirit within a body. Folks, love you. Take care and have a good one.